All right, welcome back, FanNoise faithful, to a special edition college football playoff show part 2 championship series. Okay, Ohio State beats Clemson, Alabama beats Notre Dame. It is about 12:30 Eastern time, and we're gonna get right into it. All right, we're gonna talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide and what they just did to my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. All right, they stomped them, stomped their face through the turf. There was no question. They had that game in hand the entire time. As a Notre Dame fan, it was very expected, I should say. It was expected that they were going to go out there and play like that. But yet again, I beg the question, does Cincy, you guys are going to say Cincy would play better, A&M will play better. Well, they weren't there. So Notre Dame wins 10 games every season. Brian Kelly's going to keep coaching that team, and it is what it is. As far as Alabama, watching Devontae Smith play football is incredible. The dude's a freak. He's going to be an absolute stud in the NFL. And Najee Harris just hurdling dudes that are standing straight up 6'2". The guy didn't even go for his legs. He literally jumped over him. That was one of the most impressive things I've seen since Derrick Henry absolutely just trucking that Bills guy in the NFL this season. Mac Jones, I think he was 25 for 30. Like I said to Nate in the show before, Mac Jones, can he really throw the deep ball? Yeah. Does he? No, because he doesn't have to, because he has all the weapons around him. He gives it to Devontae Smith. He gives it to Najee Harris. He gives it to these guys in space. I mean, if you watch the game, they run full wide. They spread them out. They run quick screens, quick slants, and they get the ball to their playmakers, and that's what Nick Saban does. That's what he has in his arsenal. That's what he's been doing. That O-line gets a push up front. They run the football. They're just a sound football team year in and year out, week after week in the SEC, and it's going to continue to stay like that as long as Nick Saban's the coach. On a little talk about recap of the Clemson-Ohio State game. I was actually pleasantly surprised in that game. As you can see, I'm wearing the Ohio State shirt. I picked them to win this game because the more I watch Ohio State over the years, the more they impress me in big games. They're just never a team I count out, no matter what the record is. But they showed a lot in this game. Justin Fields balled out completely, 100%, gave it his all in this game, playing kind of banged up after he took a huge shot. Shout out to Tuff Borland, getting Defensive Player of the Game. He's the stout leader for that team and that defense, and they just played great football. I want to talk about Trey Sermon. Me and my buddy Nick over here, this dude is a bulldozer beyond belief. Almost 500 yards in the last 2 games, in 2 championship games, technically playoff and Big Ten. You rarely see that, and that's due to the fact of Ryan Day. That's due to the fact of the running backs coach. That's due to the fact of offensive line. That's due to the fact of Justin Fields. Sorry, Master Teague, not your time yet. Trey Sermon making his case, making his presence known tonight and last week. And that defense showed up against Clemson. As much crap as they've gotten during the season, they did what they needed to do to stop Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence didn't look as comfortable in the pocket as he has done in the entire season playing in that terrible ACC conference. Even against Notre Dame last week. When he's comfortable in the pocket, it's game over. When he has time to throw, he's good on the run, yes, but he was pressured a lot today. And he just didn't do enough as Justin Fields. That's the bottom line. High-scoring game. Not a ton of defense, but such 2 great offenses, 2 great quarterbacks that Justin Fields now can have his case for the number 1 pick. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But, I mean, my buddy showed me a little Bears meme of him in a Bears uniform. I mean, it could get to that point where to see what he's going to do against Alabama could make his case for that number 1 pick. And would people trounce the Jags for taking Justin Fields over Lawrence? I don't know. It's been Lawrence for the longest time. But, I mean, you got to go with the guy that plays in the big games. And not saying Trevor Lawrence doesn't. He has 2 losses in his career. All I'm saying is Justin Fields can make a case for being the number 1 pick in this year's draft. So, with that being said, on to the championship game, Alabama, Ohio State. I love that it's not Alabama, Clemson. I don't care which one was in, which one was out. I wish it was Notre Dame, Ohio State, just for the difference aspect. Call it what you want. I don't care. I loved that Ohio State won this football game. I think it's going to be a huge challenge for both teams. Ohio State obviously didn't play as many games as Alabama. I don't think that matters at this point. I think it's going to come down to, again, Nick Saban, Ryan Day, great coaching, great preparation. It's going to come down to who can run the football. I mean, Najee Harris and Trey Sermon, that's going to be an absolute gridiron fist fight between the tackles, busting people up, broken bones, broken broken knuckles. It's going to be a bloodbath in the trenches, and I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. We get one more college football game this season, or as far as one that actually matters, if we're being completely honest, in the national championship. It does. I'm not an Ohio State fan, but I don't even know if it feels like it's a national championship. It's just such a weird season without fans being there. But it's going to be exciting to watch. I think Justin Fields is way better than Mac Jones. I don't care if I get the heat in the comments about a bunch of Alabama fans. I saw what I saw this game. I saw what I've been seeing. Mac Jones, good quarterback. Yes, great quarterback, maybe. But like I said, he can be great. I just haven't seen the stuff that I've seen from Justin Fields with Mac Jones just checking balls down, doing what he has to do to win. That's fine. He throws for 300 yards today, 25 for 30. That's fine. Playing against, whether you guys believe it or not, a good Notre Dame football team. I don't care what you say. That's a good football team. They're not number 4. If you're not 1 or 2, it doesn't mean you're a bad football team. We need to start realizing that and give credit to where credit's due. Cincy, good football team this year. Georgia, good football team this year. It's hard to win. Winning is hard. I think it's an abomination that people still knock Notre Dame. Whatever. Should they have been in the playoff? I don't know. It is what it is. They were in. Whether it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is they were a good football team, and Alabama had to go in and do what they've been doing for the past entire season. 35 points a game. Brian Kelly knew that going in. Everybody knew that going in. Scored 31 today. They just dominate football games. Now, on to Ohio State. Going against Ohio State, that defense better come ready to play. I think they came as prepared as they could have against Trevor Lawrence, but it might have to be even more on another level for this game, and I think they're ready for it. I think this game showed a lot of what Ohio State can be for if they were to play a full season. I think they're a great football team. A lot of Ohio State fans were saying it's not the same team as the previous years. But to me, as a non-Ohio State fan watching their season this year, they, like I said, they play in the big game. They always show up in the big game, and so does Bama. Like I said, between the tackles, Najee Harris, Trey Sermon, and then the X factor is going to be, what does Mac Jones do better than Justin Fields, and what could Justin Fields do to duplicate what he just did in this game against an underrated defense, I should say, in Alabama. It's still Alabama. People knock their defense a lot. Still a good defense. Okay? Still a good defense. Undefeated for a reason. But it's gonna be cool to see how the Ohio State secondary covers Devontae Smith, because, like I said before, Ohio State's, people say their weakest link is their secondary. I don't know. It's tough to say. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do against Devontae Smith. And like I said, and try to stop Najee Harris from hurdling 6'4" guys. That is what it is. It comes down to smash mouth football. It's going to come down to between the tackles and the X factor, Mac Jones, Justin Fields doing something better than the other. All right. Wanted to talk about something a little different. Tight end play. Tight end play doesn't get enough love from Ohio State and Alabama. Alabama, their tight ends have been banged up. One of them has been banged up all season. He showed up against Notre Dame. And then Ohio State's tight ends going to have to get involved in the play-action game and mix up that Alabama defense. As far as everything else in the game, like I said, I think Alabama has a better defense than Ohio State. I think Ohio State's defense is going to have to play on another level this week. But for my prediction, the way Ohio State played today and the way Alabama played today, it's very difficult to pick a winner. I'm going to pick Alabama in this game. It's tough for me to say that because I truly do think Ohio State could win this game. But it comes down to, is Justin Fields going to do what he did right here against Alabama, against Nick Saban? Personally, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Nick Saban wins another national championship this year and continues his trend of greatness and trend of recruiting and just his pure dominance and love and passion and knowledge of the sport. I think he pulls it off again this year. And, I mean, it is what it is. You're going to get Alabama as long as Nick Saban is around. And I would throw Ryan Day in this mix now, Dabo Swinney. These three teams are going to be in it from year in, year out. But I'm picking Alabama in this game. That's my little preview, little coverage from what I saw today solely on the screen in both games, picking Alabama to win the national championship in 2021. Happy New Year, by the way. With that being said, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button on the YouTube channel so you're the first ones to get the notifications when the videos are posted. Also, we are on all platforms. Visit our website at fannoisesports.com. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, all the above. With that being said, Happy New Year. Ohio State, Alabama, 2021 National Championship preview. Coming at you live from FanNoise. FanNoise out.